We're here in the Warehouse Gym in Port Talbot. I'm joined by professional boxer Lloyd Germain from Cardiff.
Yeah.
Tell us about you, mate. How did you get into boxing?
Got into boxing about the age of 12, in and out of the gyms, obviously playing other sports, and then never really dedicated myself to it, to be honest, but always been a big, massive boxing fan, so used to enjoy going to the gym as a younger age, and then, like I said, falling in and out of it, and then about, I say 10 years later, started taking it a bit more serious. Obviously, having little ones and stuff, it was kind of hard to dedicate myself to the gym fully, but yeah, that was mainly the reason why I got into boxing, just the love for boxing, you know, and then going to the gyms and seeing the older guys training, and obviously seeing how skillful the professional boxers are, so that was mainly the reason why I got into it.
So what amateur gyms were you involved in well, I presume in Cardiff, was it?
Yeah, in Cardiff. I trained when I was very young at the stable. That was in Newport Road. It's no longer a gym anymore. And from there I went and trained in Highfields ABC. Then spent a couple of years down in Grange ABC. But obviously turning professional, I've been training with Tony in St Joe's. So.
Who were your inspirations as a young boxer? Did you have any guys you looked up to? I suppose Steve Robinson was big in Cardiff at the time, Nicky Piper, or was it somebody else you aspired to copy?
They were obviously Welsh boxers who'd done a lot in the sport, so anyone from Wales who was doing well, I would look up to them and obviously aspire to be like them. But I looked up to all the great boxers, you know, anyone who's done a lot for the sport and has achieved and reached the pinnacle. Those are the type of people I always looked up to. So. Yeah, those mainly, like.
So, I mean, who was your boxing hero, if you like, when you were younger? Was there any particular guy on the world stage you admired or tried to copy, or just do your own thing?
I do my own thing. Obviously, I'm very big fan of Sugar Ray Robinson. Obviously, like Muhammad Ali, Mike Tyson, Floyd Mayweather. But I try and watch all those boxers and try and do my own thing as such, make my own style, you know. Never really stick to one person and try and be like him, because obviously I'm Lloyd Germain. I'm trying to be the best Lloyd Germain I can be. But there was boxers who obviously you'd look up to. You obviously look up to the best of them and try and be as much like them as you can, both inside and outside the ring. So
when you were an amateur boxer, who were the best amateur boxers in Wales at the time? Who were your contemporaries in the Welsh squad or boxing on the Welsh circuit?
I couldn't really tell you, to be honest. Like I said, I was in and out of the gym, so they would have changed. But obviously I know Joe Cardini, he was a good Welsh boxer. Obviously now went to the Olympics, boxed for Great Britain. Obviously Fred Evans, Andrew Selby. These are all great Welsh boxers who are obviously doing very well amateur and then turned over to be professionals. But for myself, there wasn't one person I'd look at and say, oh, he's the best in my division, because unfortunately I wasn't committed to the gym too much to keep an eye on anyone else. I was more focused on myself, you know.
So you quite openly admitted there that you weren't the most dedicated amateur.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of people might find it a little bit strange that you've decided to go pro, which is a lot more serious. I mean, boxing is a serious game. People get seriously hurt in boxing. So why did you decide to make the jump from the amateurs to the pros?
Well, I was in and out of work. Obviously, I've always believed in my skills, and obviously what I do, I know I'm very good at it. But it was more last year, obviously, I had something very tragic happen to me and obviously my family. I lost my brother. So that almost gave me an extra kick to just dedicate myself to boxing. Obviously, fast forward a year now, I've had my first contest. I've won my first professional contest. I'm 2 weeks out from my second one. And I'm just living the life as a professional boxer with the help, obviously, of my sponsors. But I'm more dedicated and driven than I've ever been now. And obviously, I've set goals in my mind, and obviously I'm on my way to achieving them. So that was a big transition in me dedicating myself to the sport, obviously.
So basically, you've turned what was a personal tragedy into an inspiration, if you like.
Yeah, that's very true. It helped me both mentally and physically. Obviously, it's never ever gone. Something I wouldn't wish for anybody, but. The old saying, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, is very true, because I'm the man I am today due to that reasons. Obviously, other reasons which I have, but that played a massive part in me turning professional and giving my everything to boxing, and putting all my time into something which I love to do, you know.
So you mentioned you're training down in St Joe's with Tony Borg.
Yeah.
What's it like working in that gym with world-class boxers? You got obviously Lee Selby, a former world champion, and there's a host of other fighters. Gavin Gwynn, a Welsh champion, just to name two.
Yeah. It's amazing, you know. Every day rubbing shoulders with some of the best boxers. Obviously, former world champions, British title challengers, great Welsh prospects. The gym breeds success, so being around good people, you're only going to better yourself. And I've noticed the past, say, 18 months since I've been up with Tony and obviously dedicated myself, I've improved and gone from strength to strength. That's credit to obviously Tony and everyone else in the gym, but obviously a lot of credit goes to the people you're around, you know. You surround yourself with good people, you become, obviously surround yourself with winners, so you become a winner yourself. So that's the attitude it is.
Since you've turned pro, what would you say are your main the main areas you've improved on, or the main differences from Lloyd Germain, the amateur, to Lloyd Germain, the one fight pro?
Yeah, well, I didn't have a massive amateur career. I only had 3 fights, so there wasn't much for me to change. If I've got a professional boxing style now. I'm a lot more confident. Obviously, I'm sparring with top professionals, so the amateurs, I don't look back at what I was like an amateur. I just know every day I'm improving. I'm sharper, fitter, stronger than I've ever been, and I'm more dedicated and driven to do well. And I know around the right people and dedicating myself to boxing, great things will happen, you know.
So I believe you're boxing at light middle or super welter?
Yeah, that's correct. I'm going to have a few fights at super welter, then obviously challenging for titles. I'll drop down to the welterweight limit then, but I walk round bang on the super welterweight limit anyway, so there's no weight cut as such, so I'm very strong for the weight I am right now, and then going on a few fights down the line, challenging for titles, I'll drop down to the welterweight limit then.
I mean, just recently, over the last couple of years, the Welsh area title or the Welsh Championship or whatever you want to call it is become active, which is great, I think, for Welsh boxing. Yeah. Would you see yourself challenging for the Welsh welterweight title sometime in the future?
Yeah, of course. That's one of my main goals. Well, one of my first goals is to challenge and win the Welsh title. Obviously, be able to call myself the best Welsh welterweight obviously around at the time. You know, going on then, I want to win further titles. But that was one box which I want to tick off first, is becoming a Welsh title. I think it's very prestigious, and every Welsh boxer wants to win a Welsh title. You know.
So how far away from fighting for a Welsh title do you think you are, realistically?
I'd like to have a chance at it within a year's time. I know you've got to set those goals. Obviously, I'm competing now in 2 weeks. Have a few more fights then next year. Say a year to 18 months, I'll have the Welsh title, you know. That's where my goals are. And I'll leave that with Tony and obviously my manager. They'll be able to pick out when and who has the title at the time, whether we challenge it for a super welterweight or challenge it for it at welterweight, you know.
As you mentioned there, you got a fight on the 13th of September in Swansea, a show televised by S4C. Yeah. A big platform for a young boxer to showcase his skills. Do you feel the pressure? Will you feel the pressure?
Obviously, there'll be pressure. With everything there comes pressure, but I strive off pressure, you know. It only makes me perform better, and I don't look at it too much as it's a pressure. It's something I do every single day. And like you say, it's an opportunity for me to showcase my skills, not for me to fold under the pressure, because that won't be happening, you know.
And of course, something that's very important for boxers at your level is selling tickets. So, I mean, if anyone's watching this interview that would like to get hold of tickets for this show, I mean, how do they get hold of you?
You can get hold of me through Facebook, obviously Lloyd Germain. I'm also on Instagram at Germain. I seem to sell a lot of tickets through that. And obviously through Facebook, if you message me, I can give you my contact telephone number. We can meet up and arrange for tickets.
And I suppose people can call into St Joe's Gym in Newport as well if they want to get tickets off you?
Yeah, I'm there like 5-6 times a week in the morning, so anytime they're around St Joe's or around Newport, just call in, and if they want tickets to the fight, I'll be there to give them to them. So appreciate all the support which I get. It's massive, and obviously it helps me go from strength to strength to have the backing of everybody and their support, so yeah. And
you mentioned earlier in the interview about your sponsors. Do you want to give them a shout out?
Yeah, well, I've given all my sponsors a massive shout out. Without their help, I wouldn't be able to commit myself fully to the gym. Obviously, like I said, as of 18 months ago, I quit work to put all my time into boxing, and their obviously contributions, both monetary and their support, is massive. It keeps me going every single day, and it's gives me extra drive to know I've got the backing of companies and businesses that are putting their money into me to see me do well and obviously support me along my professional boxing journey.
So do you want to just give the sponsors' names I mentioned there, get some airtime?
Yeah, well, I've got Specialist Security, A1 Support, A1 Recovery, JHI Building, Ringmaster obviously helped me with all my kit, Demon Shield, they helped me with, obviously sort me out for my gum shields. I've got JDE Demanning, electrical company, Hollis Heating and Gas, obviously Borge Boxing and Bespoke Boxing. They all helped me massively, and like I said, their support is a big help in me being able to dedicate myself fully to professional boxing.
Well, we've got a lot of sponsors there, which is great to see, because basically without the sponsors, boxers like yourselves wouldn't be able to box on a full-time level like you are.
No, of course, and it's, like I say, not just the sponsors, this gives you extra drive knowing you've got the backing of a lot of companies, you know, so really appreciate it, and thank you all for the support you're giving me.
So Lloyd, what's the big boxing dream for you? Where, I mean, what dream big? What's the big dream?
Well, obviously to become a world champion, you know, I never took up don't take up boxing just to say I want to win a Welsh title. That's one goal or one box I want to tick, but I want to go from strength to strength, win all the titles and become a world champion. I don't believe you should do anything in life if you don't aim big, you know. If you don't have those vision and aspirations to become the best, then why are you doing it, you know? Obviously, if my dream was to just win a Welsh title, when I win a Welsh title, you could say your dream was over then, you know, but my dream is obviously to win the Welsh title and go from strength to strength, and obviously at the pinnacle of my career, become a world champion. So yeah, that's what I want to do.
Okay, cheers Lloyd, thanks for your time today, mate.
Thank you very much for the interview.
Good to catch up with you.
Thank you very much.
Took us a while to pin it down.
Yeah.
Good luck on the 13th, and I think I'm working for S4C on the night, so I'll probably see you there, and good luck for your fight.
Okay, thank you very much.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
Thank you.